Don on your mask, an apron, which we don't have, and I don't expect you to, we don't have. So you just tell me you don your mask, don your apron, and then your gloves. So for this particular competency, you should treat yourself as like a nursing student. So, Istanbul, my name is Clement. I'm a physiotherapist. I'm here to do some airway suctioning for you. We have a lot of secretions in your airway according to the nurses. So is it okay that I unzip you so we can do a very quick assessment? Okay. And then you are going to get consent, get identification, patient identifier, risk tag identifier, which you don't have, and position the patient. If the patient is supine, you will put the patient in at least 30 degrees head up on the Fowler's position. That's ideal. Okay, and also to remove the pillow because it allows the patient to tilt the head back to open the airway. Okay, so Mr. Ambo, I'm going to take off your pillow. Okay? Is it okay that you cough for me? Thank you. A bit wet. Parameters. Okay, so at this point in time, there's enough evidence to show that the patient has secretions in the central airway, and the patient is not able to cough effectively. Okay, if you want, you can take a stethoscope and auscultate, but really there isn't a need because there's enough evidence to show that there's secretion in the central airway, and the patient's cough is wet and ineffective. Then you will proceed to tell the patient, I need to do suctioning. It's going to be a little painful. Okay. And we have to put a little catheter through your nose and so that we can get rid of this secretion so they can breathe better. Okay. Now before we do that, I'm going to help you to with a bit more oxygen. So trivia, time out. How do we hyperoxygenate on this system? There are two ways at this point in time. Okay, so it just depends on much. So on 35%, you can actually increase it to 50%, correct? The problem with increasing with 30-50%, you also need to increase the flow meter according to what's written on the barrel. So if you can remember that, then you can do increasing it. I'm going to give you a little bit more oxygen, Mr. Ambu, and dial it up to 15 liters per minute, okay, according to what's written. That's method number one. The other method is to occlude the window. What does occlude the window do? So you prevent air from being entrained to dilute the 100% oxygen that's coming in. So what's delivered to the patient is actually very high concentration of oxygen, way more than 50%. Exact concentration, I don't know, unless I have an oxygen analyzer. Okay, so you can do that for about 15-30 seconds. All the time, you're going to hook up the patient on the pulse oximeter. Okay, so if this is a general ward patient, at least a pulse oximeter on the finger to monitor for heart rate and at least SpO2. Okay, so that helps you to establish the vital signs as well. Okay, about 30 seconds, you're going to prepare for your suctioning. Okay, so when you prepare for the suctioning, and I'm going to turn and use this platform to demonstrate to you, okay, but in reality you cannot do that. It's just that I don't have a table here. Maybe I can. Imagine. Okay. So gain consent, hyperoxygenate, and then the suction catheter and everything. So number one, you break the seal, exposing only the connector, and then connect it to the oxygen tubing, the vacuum tubing. Okay, there are two ways for you to settle this. One, put this up like this. Sometimes putting it down like this will slide and the shield will fall and the catheter will be unclean. So what we tend to do, we put it under the armpit. Armpit means only the outer sheath. Don't put too near in this way, and then when you pull it out, touches you know where. So somewhere so it's still exposed, you can see. Okay. Sterile gloves. It says peel, so peel. Now there's a reason why I peel it this way, so that I can leave it here. The glove is within this sheath. So gloves within this sheath so I can touch everything, still clean. water-soluble lubricant, this surface are still clean. I haven't touched them, right? So with the lubricant in a tube, because if it's been used, I will first discard the first drop and then put a big dollop on the surface that I want the lubricant to be. The discarding of the first dollop is just so that if it's been exposed, you just want the so-called unclean part to be there. That's just a simple nursing procedure. Lubricant there, you prepare for your sterile gloves. Okay, so you will open, unfold. Okay, notice I'm only when I unfold the last fold, you only touch the edges. Okay, because once you open it, the glove is there. Okay, if you open it roughly, oh, yeah, then your dirty hand would have touched the tips of the glove. Okay, so let's do it again. Open. Okay, and you will hold the end of the glove. Now, you won't be able to see properly sometimes. You see that there are two different lengths. The one stuck to the paper is longer, the one on top is shorter. Okay, so you can hold on to the one at the bottom and open up. Okay, all the while, all these are still clean. Okay, slide your hand under. Remove. Tuck at the edge for a snug fit, and this is your sterile glove. Okay, dominant hand. Unfortunately, this is designed for left-handers. Okay, right-handers. For left-handers, okay, you will do this. Okay, right, sterile. I'm going to move back so that, oh. There we go. I'm going to pull this out. Clean, clean. So clean hand only touches the catheter. This part. And my lubricant, right? You dollop the lubricant, you forgot, then what's the purpose? So this is clean. You mean because you drop the lubricant on the clean surface. The lubricant is meant to be clean because you discarded the first drop. So you will lubricate liberally the tip. Okay, or at least the first inch or 1 or 2 centimeters. So you have enough lubricant as you advance it into the nostril. It coats the catheter as well. Okay, so there's 2 ways of doing it. You can leave it like this and deal with the patient, which means you expose your catheter to touching your hair, touching your gown, touching the patient, right? So I suggest you just twirl. Twirl to a point that I don't want you to go all the way like this and just touch the connector. Okay? The rule of thumb is I would suggest is you leave 1 inch, okay, from the proximal end, and the 1 inch is this glove no touch zone. Okay, so that because you're going to use your dirty hand to control the vacuum from here, so this part is technically not clean. Got that? Okay, I am a right-hander, but I'm demonstrating this as a left-hander because I'm telling you it can be done. Not that I do this. I'm not doing this on patient. I would never use my left hand to deal with the patient. Okay. So that process should have taken 30 seconds, 20 seconds max. Most of it will take up to a minute. Okay. So when it's up to the minute, you're hyperoxygenated. You spend about a minute or even sometimes 2 for some of you. What's going to happen to the oxygen that has been earlier hyperoxygenated? Flushed out already, right? So with this system, the easiest way, for example, we're going to give you a little bit more oxygen again. So I'm going to do this again for another 30 seconds, check the SpO2, that is great. Okay, So 30 seconds has passed, SpO2 is satisfactory, 100%. Istanbul, we're going to suction you. Okay. Turn on the machine. Please remember to do that. Okay. Okay, the machine is on, 150 millimeters mercury that you checked. And then I'm going to take off this mask. I'm going to put this around your mouth, okay, so that you can breathe through your mouth when I insert the catheter. Okay. Untwirl, if you can, do a bit of head tilting. Lift your head up, okay, and sniff. And we're going to insert whichever one you want. No lubricant, okay, so you know. And Istanbul is not meant for that. So assume you've gone in.
And you're going to your twirling it in?
Very gently actually. Okay, because you may feel blockage. The patient cringes. So you have to get the patient to relax or try to get through, and this is the time when you may get nasal bleeding. Okay. You advance further past the pharynx, and then it can go both ways, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So generally, I will get the patient take a deep breath in, and with the patient deep breath, I advance a little bit further. Hopefully, it follows the direction of the air, which hardly ever happens, into the trachea. Okay. Now, if the catheter goes to the trachea, the first thing you know that had happened is when the patient starts to cough, right? Because it has entered into the trachea, it triggers a cough, and you know that the catheter has entered the trachea, and you may want to advance a little bit further to where the secretions is. Then, from there, you apply and pull up. So there are two ways of pulling up. You can pull up this way, or sometimes I like to hold on here and pull with my hand. Not yank, as in it helps me to control where the tip is as it comes out. Okay. Now, if you do, sorry, Ms. Ambu, if you do this method, okay, let's just say the catheter has been advanced to about this length, and you pull with your the so-called dominant hand, you're likely to do this, right? When you do this and it comes up, you can contaminate. The sputum may go all over the place. So I like to do this. Hold on here, pull. As it comes up, I grab the tip, I twirl. Hyperoxygenate. Okay, for 30 seconds, check vital signs. Okay, so while doing that, you monitor the patient, blah, 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 maintaining all the things, right? Okay, so how you know, so the few things, inside the catheter, you need to be very gentle with going through the nasal passage. Okay, once you get there, once you pass in, you go enter the pharynx, you get the patient to do a bit of head tilt chin lift, which helps to open up the airway, right? Take a deep breath, and the patient takes a deep breath, you advance the catheter a little bit further. If you get to the trachea, then you should get a cough. Then you advance a little bit further. If the patient starts to cough spasmodically, then you may choose to just suction there and just let go, and just pull it out. If it's just a cough, just advance a little bit further, suction everything out, and as much secretions as you can during that pass, so that you don't do it again. Because every time you do a pass, is again the 50% chance of whether you go into the esophagus or whether you go into the trachea. So if you're already in the trachea, then I prefer to just really clear it all out, because I don't know whether my second pass or third passes, whether it will actually go into the trachea. Got that? Okay. So hyperoxygenate for 30 seconds. Okay, and then return the patient to our previous, which is just releasing if this method. Do a quick check. Mr. Ambu, please cough for me and check what the parameters is cleared. Then there's no need for further suctioning. Then you will discard. Now, because there's no need for further suctioning, then now you can touch the connector, right? Okay. The part about no shaking, okay, is because if you don't twirl the catheter and you shake, the bag might burst and the catheter will just be poking up. So what I usually do is just tie a knot and just discard. Okay, so let's leave that as first. check the patient. Okay, below please. Okay, so if this position is comfortable for the patient, we'll leave it at that, and that is when you can continue with your treatment, or if this is the end of treatment, your evaluation, which is auscultation still. Okay, settle the patient, check that the oxygen therapy has returned to its original state, vital signs are stable. Istanbul, thank you very much, we're done. Okay, we have to come back again later to check on you again. Okay. And then you can proceed to cleaning up. So if you haven't already tied the knot during the evaluation, please do that. Tell me that you're going to dispose this to the biohazard bin. Lubricant. So what, if I'm really cleaning up, I will do this. So it's just in one pack, you can throw it. Okay. This is still on. So sterile glove, actually, I'm going to clean my hands anyway. So sterile water, right? Flush, clean, turn off, okay? And then put this wherever they have to do it. So there are two ways to dispose, to take care of this oxygen tubing. Some places like to do this. They will tear off a bit from here because inside is still clean, right?